number one volume Chevy dealer in the country for new and certified pre-owned vehicles for 2022. And right now, they have 2023 Silverados that are ready for you to test drive and take home today, and maybe you'll keep it for 12 years or whatever, and then be sentimental about it. Or, if a sedan is more your style, Sarah Whalen can get you into the legendary Malibu. So hurry in today, Sarah Whalen Chevrolet, 17.5 in Van Dyke and Sterling Heights, call 800 Whalen 1. Go to sarahwhalen.com, find new roads.
97.1 on Ticket Traffic.
This report brought to you by NECA IVEW Local 58. Taking a look at the freeway, still clear out there as drivers are near posted speeds. We do have one accident out in Sterling Heights, 18-mile westbound, just after Mound, blocking the right lane. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors and IVEW electricians to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. Productivity and innovation matter. Learn more at PowerMichigan'sFuture.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
I do.
Whatever the forecast, Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical has you covered. No need to call around town. When you need reliable service, you need it now. Mastercraft is locally owned, and they're your connection when it comes to your furnace, AC, generator, or sump pump. Call Mastercraft at 800-924-2123 for 24-hour emergency service, or your service call is free. That's 800-924-2123, or visit mastercraftheating.com. That's mastercraftheating.com. This Odyssey.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Northville Lumber.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Tax Slayer. Start filing for free today at taxslayer.com. Super Wildcard Weekend's biggest loser was a bettor who reportedly put down $1.4 million on the Chargers after they had already raised to a 27-0 lead over the Jags. But Brandon Staley's Bolts suffered the third worst choke in playoff history. That was ugly. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like settling up and chasing down.
Look at that sweet moolah!
That big old cash cow.
Look at all that money!
File for free with TaxSlayer Simply Free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
When a cold comes on strong, knock it out with Vicks DayQuil Severe for max strength daytime relief. Just one dose of Vicks DayQuil Severe starts to relieve 9 of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to none. Power through your day with Vicks DayQuil Severe, the daytime non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, 9 to none medicine. Use as directed.
At Diamonds Direct, we want to make something very clear. We will absolutely beat the price of any comparable diamond that you find anywhere else. No fine print, no disclaimers, just a rock-solid, unqualified nationwide price guarantee. And this goes for 1-carat diamonds as well as 15 and 20-carat diamonds. You see, at Diamonds Direct, we're more than just another jewelry store. We're part of a world diamond powerhouse with direct access to the world's top diamond mines. We have our own diamond cutters, too, so we are active in every aspect of the diamond market every single day, from source to showroom. So when you see a diamond somewhere else, online or in a store, or from some so-called supplier, just know that apples for apples, you will get a better price at Diamonds Direct. Our volume, our connections, our buying power make this possible, and it's why we've never ever lost a sale due to price. So at a time when value means so much, we invite you to take this challenge and let us prove it. Day in and day out, you will always get a better quality diamond at a better price at Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
How could my nose be running when it stays on my face? I love my nose. Ooh, I feel cookie.
Our noses know if those sniffles are just a cold, allergies, or COVID-19. So if you're wondering about your child's symptoms, swab and test their nose to get answers. It's good to know. Find testing information and resources at michigan.gov/COVID test. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
What's it like to go to the South Pole? How do some animals change color? Can you catch a liar?
That's dangerous territory.
Can you trust a gut feeling? What about yawns?
Yes, yawning is contagious.
Mike Simpson here, and on my podcast, I've Got Questions. We go through all these things we're curious about, and some stuff you probably don't expect.
Yo, strawberries are not even fruits at all.
So, what are they? I've Got Questions. New episodes Thursdays on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Come to Lady Jane's for a award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket is presented by BetQL. Smarter bets start with BetQL. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. The Detroit Red Wings play the Colorado Avalanche. 3 games a day at 2:45 on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Having some fun on a Monday morning. We're going to get to the playoffs. We spent most of the show talking football.
Absolutely.
And at 8:02,
turn right onto Sweetbriar Road.
what stood out from Wild Card Weekend? There were no shortage of great games. We'll eventually address the elephant in the room that was no Lions football this weekend.
That's true.
But Stoney, we didn't get to do our normal Sunday show, so hey, here we are. We make up for it.
That's right.
And I brought something up. I sold my car this week. This is a car that I've had since college. I'm talking 10 plus years. And I wasn't sentimental at all about it. And I want to know, is there something wrong with me?
No.
You're not sentimental about cars
No.
either. It's an A to B transportation device.
Okay, so what are people sentimental about besides, like family,
Well, you brought up one like your hometown, the house you grew up in.
Right. Now, guys who, I understand this,
At the next
there are
stop sign,
people who
turn
play
right.
lacrosse are very sentimental about their stick. Because unlike a hockey stick, once you have a lacrosse stick, you keep it for a long, 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 long time. So if something happens to that stick, you get really, really pissed off.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
We asked people, did you have a favorite car? Is this a thing? The pushback on the ticket text is like, dude, you guys don't get it. People here, Motor
At
City,
the stop
guys
sign,
are
turn
sentimental
right
about
onto
cars.
Sweetbriar
I'm
Road.
baseball.
Then the destination is on
Yeah, I
your
can
left.
see it.
You're in a glove.
If you played baseball for a large chunk of your life and
Right.
maybe even,
Use
at a
the
high
same-
level.
Use the same glove for years.
Yeah.
The destination is on
Go to
your
the
left.
phones. We've got Jeff on a cell. Jeff, you're on 97.1.
Hey,
Hello.
now, I think just getting sentimental like a Honda Civic, that's not, I think people are losers if they do that. But for me, I had 4 or 5 cars, and the 2 I missed, I think cool cars. They were both was a TJ Wrangler 2002, and I could take the top off both of them, 5 feet, so in the summer I could go to like the beach or just drive around, and it's like a cool car. My other 2 cars are just your basic, boring sedans, and they're just, I don't know, whatever. And then the last one I got rid of, I'm sad about it, because then I went from a nice, cool, take the Jeep off, or take the top off, and all that stuff, to family SUV, which is, it's almost like a sign of you're going up and you're not going to be very cool anymore.
Wow. Did that?
That's why I think that's why, like, some people get sentimental because you're getting rid of a cool car. But if you're just getting rid of like you said, a Honda Civic or something like, I don't know.
Hey, Jeff. Jeff,
Yeah.
big question. Did that TJ Wrangler, did it like come a few yards short before you had to turn it in?
Oh no, it was running really, really good. It was just that I got a family and I had to
He didn't get the
change it,
joke.
and my wife
Yeah.
said,
You should have got, maybe your cousins gave it to you and it came up short. Okay, that was a stupid joke.
No, but I got where you were going, and he was like, "No, absolutely. Actually, it was fine. It rolled just way over his head."
4th and 8. Let's go for 4.
Oh God! Get to that. Jags collapse. Brock Purdy not looking like a weak link. All that's coming up. Tim in Flushing. Tim, you're on 97.1.
Hey guys, to answer your question, sentimentality, it's guys versus girls on that one, in my opinion. So for guys, it's the car thing. I had a '79 Firebird Formula. It wasn't my second car. My first car was a beater, and it got beat up. My first car I bought when I was 20, and it was the Firebird Formula. Yes, I want it back. No, I can't have it back like an idiot. When I went back to college, I gave it to my brother, and yeah, I don't know, he gave it to like some girl that he was dating. You know, that screwed that up bad.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife's driving a 2020 Blazer, and I'm driving a 2009 Malibu. Women, they want the nicest cars. They could care less if they get the first car they ever had. Guys, no, sorry, we want the first car we ever had. It's just the way it is, I guess.
I understand it. It's not me. I wonder, it looks like I'm not a hunter.
Yeah.
I wonder the first gun that you own, if people get sentimental about that.
First kill?
Yeah. Well, that... mounted.
No, but I mean the gun that you used to get your first kill. Man, I don't know. Again, I'm not the hunter either. I take a texter saying, I don't get the sentiment over cars. It's a hunk of metal. But I do care more about my high school baseball glove than my car.
Yeah, that's why people, obviously when you become a pro, you usually have different gloves, but there are people who have their same glove that they've used since they were 13 years old.
Another texter says, Jim, I'm about your age. My wife, this goes counter to the last caller, my wife has an 08 Trailblazer she won't get rid of. We're about to have our second child and we need a bigger, more reliable car. We have purchased a new car, and the 08 Trailblazer is still in our driveway, and no combos of selling are even entertained. That's all sentimentality, right? There's no other explanation for that. And that goes counter to the caller.
I just, look, different, as we say, different strokes for different folks, and it's like, wow. Because somebody, might laugh at you for getting sentimental about sports equipment. Right. So why should you make fun of somebody who's getting, sentimental about a car? I'm not making fun of it. It's just not me. No,
I mean, to me, it's a pretty easy exchange. Like, hey, does it run well? You want to check it out? Take it for a test. Hell, take it to a mechanic if you want. Make sure you buy something safe. And then I'm not going to shed a tear and we're going to move on.
Right. I don't think this counts because, pets.
Oh, absolutely sentimental about pets.
Of course, absolutely, yes. I mean, that's a lot different. Now, as far as the sentimentality, there are people who, I ain't mounting my dog or anything.
Oh, no.
We do have
Do you have an urn?
No, we have a can basically, but we don't look.
Well, can is like an urn.
I mean, I know, but it doesn't say the dog. It doesn't say like Dudley in Jersey. I've put down so many dogs. It's just there. We know what it is.
It's not like a creepy shrine or anything.
No, it's not on display. It's like where our vitamin bottles are. Yeah,
I haven't had to think about that. I didn't have a pet growing up. I obviously have a cat right now, and it's only 4, so I don't even...
You can't be sentimental about a cat. Cookie's the cat guy.
Thank you.
Sounds like a cartoon every Saturday on CBS.
All right, coming up next, what a finish between Baltimore and Cincinnati. What a finish between Jacksonville and Los Angeles. What a finish between Buffalo and Miami. You're sensing a theme here. Mm-hmm. We had great games. What a finish between Minnesota and New York. Great games all weekend long. Lions weren't involved. It does make you think, how would they have done this weekend? But I just want to start with the observations, the things that jumped out to you as you watch these games, because I don't think there's any shortage of ground to cover. We'll get to it top of the hour, 248-539-9797. Jim Costa in for Jansen. It's 97.1.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Sports headlines. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio. This is 97.1. The Ticket.
This update brought to you by Cars for Kids. NFL playoffs yesterday. It was Buffalo 34, Miami 31. Cincinnati defeat Baltimore 24-17. Dallas favored by 2.5 at Tampa Bay tonight. Also yesterday, New York Giants go on the road in Minnesota and defeat the Vikings 31-24. This despite 129 yards receiving from former line T.J. Hawkinson. The playoff win was the first in 11 years for the G-Men. Some reports say that Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson is the front runner now for the Carolina Panthers head coaching job. Pistons falling at home to the Knicks, 117-104. Their record stands at 12-35. The Pistons is. College basketball yesterday, Michigan beats Northwestern 85-78. Wolverines are down 10-7. Spartans hosting Purdue this afternoon. Wings at Colorado today at 3, right here on 97.1. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more 97.1, the Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1, The Ticket.
And it's not done. Wild Card Weekend wraps up tonight. Cowboys and Buccaneers. And if this weekend is any indication, it's going to be a great game. Stoney.
Let's go Bucks!
I'm kind of over Tom Brady.
Something to do with Tom Brady. I just hate the freaking Cowboys.
I get it. It feels like
Kyle Trask could be the quarterback. I don't care.
You want to drown or be burned alive. Cowboys and Bucks.
Ow.
No, if it's any indication, this weekend is that we're going to get great games. Stoney, what stood out from the weekend to you?
Daniel Jones is freaking good.
Really? That's your takeaway? Because
Well,
I think the Vikings defense just sucks.
Well, okay, but he's played good all season. There's a lot to go through every game. John Harbaugh has the Jim Harbaugh, I don't want to use timeout, lack of urgency gene. Joey Bosa is a freaking idiot.
Yep.
And Al Michaels and Tony Dungy were on value.
Yeah, can somebody wake these guys up? It's one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. It's happening in the playoffs between two young quarterbacks. First time in the postseason, head-to-head. And Al Michaels is asleep at the wheel, and Tony Dungy's passed out in his lap.
And look, I am a huge Al Michaels fan. I think he's great. I don't know what something happened. Maybe the Thursday night games got to him a little bit because most of them were awful. But he has suddenly declined, and they throw him back on NBC on Saturday, and you have basically history, to a lesser extent with that comeback.
It's just a great goal.
It's just a great, and even the winning kick.
I know, and he's like, and there's a penalty. Okay.
Al, you're famous for, do you believe in miracles?
Right.
I'm not asking for that.
No.
But can you have some kind of juice?
Yes.
Not even necessarily the final call, but the build-up to it where the Chargers miss a field goal and they leave the door open, and here comes Lawrence, another touchdown, and oh no, here we go. A 2-point conversion. Can it sound like somebody's awake?
Yeah.
Knock, knock, is anybody home?
And it's not just me, it's not just you. If you follow social media at all this weekend, he was just getting shredded, and he had Dungy. Because I think Dungy's really good in the studio. He's not an analyst.
It's two different skill sets.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, having Dungy, did that create the energy or lack thereof that...
I miss my calls. That's maybe, that's what...
Now, here's a guy who...
Yeah.
That's one thing that stood out from the weekend. 248-539-9797. The biggest thing for me was the Vikings are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
They went 11-0 in one-score games all season long. They played with fire all year. That's not sustainable. I said it. Many people said it. It was not a hot take or a controversial take, but a defense that bad in that many close games, you were bound to lose. They were fraudulent. That is not sustainable. They are due for a regression, and it happened in a big way against the Giants team that I don't think is very special.
No, they're not.
But the Giants played better defense.
Yes.
Their offense is humming. Like you said, they've instilled some confidence in Daniel Jones.
Because he's become two-dimensional. I mean, he always could run a little bit, but now, his passes, even the one where Slayton dropped it, perfect, pass, right in rhythm, dropped the ball. Hell, Kenny Galladay even had a huge block in that game. The Giants are pretty good. They're not great or anything like that. And they'll make Philly sweat a little bit. I still think the Eagles will win. But, other things, I mentioned, John Harbaugh. I didn't care that he didn't use the timeouts. It's because I understand what he wanted to do. He wanted to get in the red zone and then have the 2 timeouts right there to use where he could run the ball. It's the fact that the lack of they wasted like 35 seconds after one of their first downs, and they just had no urgency. Conversely, you had, Mike McDaniel
turn blinker on with
used
your
all
brain.
of his timeouts because they couldn't get play calls done in time. He had no idea of what the hell was going on. Granted, he had a third-string quarterback in there, and that raises some, problems that make them understandable. But God, you needed those timeouts, and he just completely screwed up. And if you believe what you saw on social media, and it looked like he was vaping during the game.
Well, I saw the clip. I saw the clip, and it makes you think. I don't care if he was. The bigger thing is okay, the decisions. I think Harbaugh is more forgivable than McDaniel in the sense that you got to be able to get the plays in.
Correct.
You got to be able to get the plays in. If you're burning timeouts in a close game because you can't get the plays in,
there was one of them where they took. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. Big Dolphin fan. Sorry you lost, but they took about 50 seconds to get a play in because they reset the play clock. It was, and it might have even been after a timeout, and they had to burn another timeout.
Yeah, I mean, Miami being in the game was a statement, but I think it was a lot more about Buffalo than Miami, to be honest with you. Josh Allen turns over 3 times, including a defensive touchdown to give Miami the lead in the second half. It's why I've always been leery about picking Buffalo. I feel like among the juggernauts in the AFC, Mahomes and the Chiefs, Burrow and the Bengals, and then you throw Josh Allen and the Bills, Allen has this thing where he makes stuff happen, but he also takes a lot of chances, and I think this is in his DNA, these mistake-prone, turnover-worthy plays. It's always scared me about Buffalo, and I think you saw just exactly why. Any other team, they lose that game.
Right, but look, before we get crazy on the Bengals, man, they were very fortunate, too.
Hubbard?
Well, yeah, that play, Logan Wilson makes a great play.
Yeah.
And Hubbard obviously returns it 98 yards.
Cincinnati guy.
But the play design for Huntley, I read, was to go low sneak, not high sneak. He did that on his own, and he got burnt by it. They got burnt by it, and they weren't great either. I mean, Burrow does enough, but he didn't play a particularly great game either.
What I would tell you is Baltimore's defense, since they added Roquan Smith, has been really good. Only the Niners have given up fewer points.
I mean, how about the Bengals? They can't have what's the name for Daxton Hill penalties, special team gunning penalties on 2 consecutive plays on special teams.
Here's where I'm at with the end of that game. One, John Harbaugh tried to do what coaches have tried to do more of, which is score with as little time left as possible. The more we watch football, the more you run into the case of we left them too much time. How many times have we seen that? Where you go, you gave Joe Burrow 45 seconds and 2 timeouts. Guess I know how this one ends.
But Baltimore's a good defense, though.
I know, but I think his thought was, and he explained after the game, if we can get in the red zone with at least 1 or 2 timeouts left, all the plays are at our disposal. We can milk the clock all the way down and try to score at the very end. They didn't lose because they ran out of time. They turned it over on downs on a 4th and 20.
Right, they lost because they had that holding penalty, too. And they also lost because before the Huntley play, J.K. Dobbins did not get the ball enough.
He even said so. J.K. Dobbins, after the game, said that he should have got the ball in that goal line.
Yes.
Hard to argue with him. And then he said if Lamar plays, we win. And Lamar's his own subplot here because...
How about the fact that he doesn't travel?
Yes, I was going to add that in. If you're Lamar and you are injured, and I'm not going to tell you he's a liar, let's say he's legitimately injured, you show up to the game. Because clearly some of this is contract dispute and guaranteed money versus not guaranteed money. But you play right into that narrative when you sit it out. When you don't go and support your teammates, you look like someone who is only caring about the money in all of this.
Yeah.
And I get it. He needs to negotiate his deal, and maybe it's not worth playing on an injury, but at least show up and show face and be there for your teammates. That's the bare minimum.
Correct.
I mean, that's its own situation.
And they still have a chance with a crazy Hail Mary. And if you watch like the 3rd replay, it was deflected, and the receiver, Prochet, I believe is his name is. It was like an inch away from his hands. I think it even touched his hands. They could have won that game.
Brian.
Or at least tied it, right?
Yeah. You know the one game we haven't mentioned yet
on Fullerton
is the first game
and
of the
Woodmont.
Stoney, when people would take a look at teams that could win the Super Bowl, you would have your usual suspects in the AFC. The Eagles are the 1 seed in the NFC. And people would entertain the Niners, but the thought was, it's Brock Purdy. It's Mr. Irrelevant. Like, you can't actually, as great as the team is, offensive and defensively in the trenches, all the playmakers, the one Achilles heel is going to be that Brock Purdy guy. He's going to be the weak link that holds them back, right?
Yeah.
That was not the story on Saturday. 4 touchdowns, 3 through the year, the improv, extending plays. He did not look like a guy who got rattled when the game was close.
He looked really good.
So I don't know what to make of him. If you were someone on the fence about the Niners being a Super Bowl team, I think you need to revisit that situation.
Right, because he can. Obviously, he's got some evade to him, number one. Number two, with them being so ground dependent, he's got, you have to stack up to about McCaffrey and even Mitchell to a certain extent.
And Debo sometimes.
Yeah. And the other thing is, he and Kittle had this thing. Yeah, granted, Kittle's so great, but him and Kittle are like, it's like this marriage that came out as like a force-fed, arranged Iowa State marriage that's gone together. But it's incredible. And Kittle's always open, and Purdy sees him.
They have an embarrassment of riches. Debo, Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey are the best trio in the NFL when you factor in versatility.
Yes.
Kittle can sit in there and mug people in the run game and never demand the ball. And then at the same time, he can have 8 catches and 2 touchdowns. Debo, you can use him in the screen game, the run game, toss him the ball, hand him the ball, throw him the ball. And McCaffrey, the same deal. But nobody has more to work with than Brock Purdy. It's why he is able to succeed as quickly as he is. But it's worth pointing out, he isn't making these mistakes that people are waiting. I don't know how many times late in the season I would say, I can't back Brock Purdy as a favorite. I'm waiting for the bottom to fall out. And every single week, the guy delivers. It's remarkable, and it is obviously supporting cast, but he's going to keep that supporting cast next week. And if they win the week after, like, these are the guys he's going to be playing with if they're going to win a Super Bowl. And I think I don't think we should view them as a team that can't do it. I think they're very capable.
Look, their defense is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say historic like the 85 Bears or anything like that, but it's really freaking good.
Brock's not the weak link.
No.
You made a comparison earlier, maybe people didn't catch it. The Charger game.
Yeah, we'll get to that coming up next.
We can do that coming up next. And again, full lines available for you guys this morning, 248-539-9797. Get in. Tell us what you thought from Wild Card Weekend. Later this hour, we'll mix the Lions in. They didn't play. How would they have done? It's 97.1.
Hey, Planet Fitness has extended their great deal for New Year's for 2023. That's right, now through tomorrow. The deal is still there. Join for $1, $10 a month. Cancel any time, no commitment. Planet Fitness works so great for me. Lost 30 pounds last year. I'm going to try to lose a few more. But the most important thing is when you go to Planet Fitness, you feel good about yourself. Whether you're a cardio person like myself or a weight person like other people, or you do both, because they have the 30-minute circuit there where you use all the weights, full body workout in just 30 minutes. And you get offered this, like I said, just $10 a month, $1 to join. There are over 50 locations in Metro Detroit. You want a little more? You get the Black Card membership, which includes massage chairs, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,000 locations worldwide if you're traveling. And, physical health is very important, but so is your mental health. I mean, you work out a lot, you feel much better about yourself, too. And that, trust me, that has worked for me. I feel much better about myself. Planet Fitness is a judgment-free zone. You can join online or in a club. Go online at www.planetfitness.com. Join today, Planet Fitness. It's a judgment-free zone.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by North Bloomfield Properties. New crash reported 94 westbound at North River Road. Traffic volumes are still really light, so really not affecting the drive too much. There's an incident slowing you down 8 Mile eastbound at Berg Road. Meantime, look for construction going on later today. M59 Hull Road eastbound between Romeo Plank and Heidenreich. Work crews have blocked the right lane from 9 to 3. Also during that time, right lane closure scheduled for 96 westbound the ramp to southbound Evergreen. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic. If you're looking for a place to call home,
Let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. We also provide pre-screened quality tenants to our property owners. We love to match good people to good homes. Contact us today, northbloomfield.com.
Football fans, turn a loss into a win with the King of Sportsbooks. Just place a single first touchdown score prop bet on any Monday or Thursday pro football game. If your bet loses, don't worry about it. You'll receive up to $25 back in free bets. This offer is available all season long. Wager confidently and take your game to the next level with BetMGM. Just log into your account or download the BetMGM app and sign up today. Then wager on any player to score the first touchdown in any Monday or Thursday pro football game. If your bet misses, it's cool. You'll get up to $25 back in free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You got to be 21 years of age or older to wager. Michigan only. New and existing customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire in 7 days from being issued.
I'm going to have to shake now.
270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Applied Innovation customer Colleen Lowe, Director of Marketing and Admissions at Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic School, admires Applied Innovation's unique culture.
They treat their customers well, and the only way that you can do that is if you as an employee are treated well yourself. I think it would be a great place to work. They're completely involved in everything that they do. There always seems to be a smile behind it.
Applied Innovation, where innovation translates into smiles.
Whether it's somebody that's answering the phone or showing up here, there's a joy about them that when they leave here, they're so pleasant, and it makes us want to be pleasant in return.
You really depend on Applied Innovation to help produce
I know you're going to have to use the pee bottle.
And more.
They're teaching us how to use the equipment that we have to our benefit and also to save us money. So they are there whenever we need them, and I really mean that.
Applied Innovation, reliable solutions for all your business challenges. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Live Nation in 97.1 The Ticket welcome Eric Church, the Outsiders Revival Tour with special guest Ashley McBride to Pine Knob Music Theater on June 23rd. Tickets on sale January 20th, but you can win your way in by logging on to the contest page of 971theticket.com.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill each morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Without the ones like you
start
who
another
work tirelessly to keep things running, everything will suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery.
Take a
Call
look.
clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it
Yep,
done.
those are the ones I'm going to keep so I don't have to
Save
upload
now
them
on
on
appliances
YouTube.
and more at the Truckload event at Lowe's. Get deals on select major appliances and take home what you buy same day. And save an additional 10% on all in-store clearance appliances. Plus, get store-wide savings on even more items. Stock up on GE Sync Reveal 60-watt dimmable smart LED light bulbs for just $9.98 each. Head to your local Lowe's store. Visit Lowe's.com to shop the Truckload event today. Exclusions apply. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. About 112 to 118.
Nachos! Hey, I'll take some. And some Frank's Red Hot. Nah, you're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the
I might
perfect blend
just
of flavor and heat.
upload them on
Frank's Red Hot.
YouTube, then I can upload these.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
The Detroit Pistons host the Chicago Bulls. Pre-game Thursday at 2:35 on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Head's still spinning all over the place. You can jump in on any of the games from this weekend. What stood out? Super Wild Card weekend, every game was great. Got another one coming up tonight. Stoney, you made a comparison earlier And I had the same thought watching Saturday night. Chargers, they blow a 27-0 lead. Chargers go full Chargers. And the reason they lost is a number of stuff, right? It's Staley, people call him for his job. It's the defense. It's the lack of running game. And some of it is Justin Herbert.
Oh, yeah.
And you said Herbert, Stafford, Stafford, Herbert. Spider-Man meme. Guys pointing at one another. Look the same. There's a comparison to be made.
Now, obviously, Herbert's a little taller. But both, especially earlier in their career, known for their arms, not necessarily their mentality on the football field, which is normal for a young player. Now, in their first playoff game, which coincidentally I believe was both in their third year, if I'm not mistaken, because the Lions played the Saints in 2012 versus the 2011
season, yeah.
Stafford was 28 of 43, 380, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Herbert, 25 of 43, 273, with 1 touchdown. They both threw the ball 43 times. Stafford completed 3 more yardage, more touchdowns, but 2 more picks than Herbert. I didn't have any. Look, they are somewhat similar. Even if you go through their first 3 years. Now, granted, Stafford's is different because he got hurt his first year.
Yeah.
But Herbert, 94 touchdowns, 35 interceptions. Stafford, 60 touchdowns, 37 interceptions. And Herbert played 49 games. Stafford only 29 games, so the yardages are completely misconstrued. But the quarterback ratings are, Herbert had a 96 quarterback rating after 3 years. Stafford's around an 88. So Herbert's got up to a little better start. Herbert made a much better team most of his career.
I would acknowledge that. Yeah, I get the comparisons there. I did squint watching the game and say, is that Matthew? Both guys have howitzers for arms. They can make every single throw, some of the strongest arms in the sport. They can make throws from multi-angles, down the field, doesn't matter. They're capable of everything. The talent is there. Herbert's more mobile, a little more mobile. They're both more reserved, right, to knock out Stafford. Why did he demand more? And Herbert's more of a softer-spoken guy, too. Both have had Joe Lombardi neuter their development.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, I thought when he was in Detroit, very dink and dunk, like, what are you doing? You have Stafford, and the same could be said for much of the year with Herbert. In fact, I felt like the Chargers looked a lot like Purdue. They can't run it, it's all